Hey guys, welcome to the Janus Project. We are continuing a whole lot of series this week. Now, you've seen the Tenaple Tuesdays, you've seen Jordan Peterson coming up, you've seen those so-called errors, and let me give you a little background to those so-called errors. Now, we have some other series we're going to be working on. We've got the one LGBTQ AAIP+. We've also got the series on creation, which will be taking a hiatus pretty soon. And so we'll let the creation series kind of die off for a little while, and we'll come back to it. I'm still working my way through the Bill Nye book. It is psychologically tormenting, but I have a lot more I have to say about that. I have several chapters penned out. I just got to sit down and record them. And so we've got a lot of stuff going on, but one of the new series we started doing is what is called Those So-Called Errors. Now, the reason I called it Those So-Called Errors is based on a book right back here by someone by the name of Chester Kulus. Now, this was his doctoral dissertation as he worked his way through this material. So one of the things that I get criticized for by just people who don't believe, they will often say, you have no right to talk about science because you have no credentials in the field. Okay, whatever. I'm quoting people who have credentials in the field, so I have the authority to quote them. Be that as it may. This guy has 2 doctorates in the field. So if you are talking about a guy who can deal with biblical studies, who can deal with the original languages, who can deal with the topic at hand, he has 2 doctorates in the field, and he has pastored for 30 or 40 years in New Hampshire. I'm pretty sure when it comes to credibility, this guy has all of it. All right? So if you are going to come at me with, well, he doesn't have the credentials, or I don't have the credentials to talk about this, I'm just saying I am going to start working my way through this book dealing with Bible contradictions. And again, this is his doctoral dissertation, and he went on to write another book on a similar topic, not to mention he's preached untold number of sermons on it. He's worked with other doctorates in the field. He has engaged with a lot of the people who have interactions either way. So what we're going to do, and that is why I named this series Those So-Called Errors, because I wanted to draw attention to this book. But what I've been doing up to this point in the series is I have been engaged with some of the stuff that he taught me, as well as some of the stuff that I've just independently researched. And I have my master's degree in Bible studies, so I do have some credentials in this field. Be that as it may, I don't put all of my dependence on degrees because I have a brain and I have the ability to logically look at a topic and say, well, you didn't take into account that context. And so what Those So-Called Errors is seeking to do is it is seeking to explain the supposed contradictions present in the Bible. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you guys have taken the time to look at the context of some of that material. But what we're going to start doing, because you've seen how I can engage with the bib-viz stuff, but I want to see some of the harder topics that require a little bit more research. And so I'm going to start bringing out some of the contradictions as you find them in this book. He spends a lot of time specifically in the numbers, so 1st and 2nd Chronicles, 1st and 2nd Kings, and he does not resort ever to scribal errors. He doesn't need to. He can explain every contradiction he engages with as there is a reason why it is not a contradiction. And so I asked you guys to tune in. You can probably find copies of this book online. If not, get in touch with me. I can probably work out a way to get you it. You'd probably have to get me the address and some payment information, but I could probably find you a copy. And so guys, I hope you'll join me as we transition from what I've been doing in Those So-Called Errors to more of the study through this book, which is what it was named for, as we continue on the Janus Project. Guys, thanks for joining me. I'm going to ask you to like and subscribe, share this video with a friend, and comment below. Let me know what contradictions you want me to deal with. I know there's a lot of confusing ones out there, and I'd love to engage with that. And so thank you guys, and I will see you, Lord willing, next week.